We're talking now with Tim. Tim, you're with Allworth's Money Matters.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Tim.
What can we do to help?
Well, I guess I could say I need a lot of help. I'm not like the usual individuals that will call in, and it seems to be like they're pretty set and secure in life. First of all, it's really an honor just to be able to talk to you. My dad would be very happy. He listens to you every Saturday, the both of you, and he taught me a lot. So I wouldn't be where I am without him, and he's definitely got that information from the both of you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
So
when you say when you say you're just starting out, right? We all start somewhere. Let's go with that premise. Tell us where you're at and tell us where you're trying to go.
Well, I was, let's say, I guess it's trying to make a long story short, but I'm in my mid 40s, which is hard to believe. Looking in the mirror every day, a little more gray. But I've actually I was incarcerated for over 20 years since I was a teenager.
Wow.
And I'm re-entering this world really like left behind and without anything. It's like I said, I don't have or initially I didn't have the IRA or the job or the sense of security or even establishing a home and credit. So having to start life over or begin life at 44, I've been in a blessed position with my family, and not everybody has that opportunity. But I want to be able to take everything that I'm learning and give it to people that don't know.
Okay. Keep talking.
So I do have a job. I have a wonderful job. It's paying quite well at the moment. So I've just initially.
What kind of work is it? Just out of curiosity.
It's a nonprofit in the Bay Area, assisting vulnerable populations, homeless, hospice, formerly incarcerated. Working with corrections, working with.
So you say you're starting out, but in reality, you're using your experiences over the last 20 years to serve others. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah.
And so now you're worried about your financial side of things and saying, how do I get this part of my house in order?
Yes, it's expensive. As the world is expensive. Burgers aren't $2 anymore. They're $14, and so I just want to kind of set a plan in place, a plan in motion, and it's hard for me to be able to, I don't want to say trust others, but relinquish the things that I've built and give to others to control, would you say?
Yeah. So when so obviously it starts with a base, and the base is your income from now, right? And whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, that's how it starts, right? You've kind of, you have a great attitude about it. How much money do you make, and how much do you think you could save on a regular basis?
So like I said, I'm in a blessed position. I don't have my own place. I'm not renting. Actually, I'm living with family. I'm doing what I can to. So I make about $70,000 a year. I have a 403B with our organization. There is no matching, so it's all me.
Are you contributing to that? Are you contributing to the 403B?
I am.
How much you putting in?
I am.
As a percentage?
$200 a month.
Okay.
But I'm also opened up my own brokerage with Charles Schwab. I have mine that I'm kind of playing with, but I also set up a Roth IRA. So last year I put in $7,000. This year I'm going to put in $7,000, but I'm going to put $700 a month rather than one lump sum
into your Roth IRA.
Yeah.
It's above the limit.
Also,
it's $7,000 this year, isn't it?
$700 a month, which would be $8,400 a year.
Well, I want to max out at 7,000.
Got it.
Okay. Well, okay, but you said 700 a month, so the quick math said it was about the
It
limit.
sounds like you got things rolling pretty well. So, how could we be of help?
Man, I mean, I listen, and I try to gauge and understand. I just don't know if I'm doing the right thing.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. Look. The reality is, right? The reality is you've started late, right? But what you did yesterday, it doesn't define you the rest of your life. And so you're doing everything you can do. You're saving, just save as much as you possibly can. I mean, that gets down to, if you could increase your 403B contribution a little bit, that would be great. But just save as much as you can.
And the thing we like about 403B, it gets sucked out of your paycheck before you have a chance to spend it.
And then you talked about trusting others. You're calling the shots on these things, right?
Yeah.
And it's, look, you're in an accumulation phase. You just want to be absolutely as aggressive as you possibly can be in terms of equities, and don't get sucked into the fancy stuff. That's where people actually screw it up. I mean, look,
or they think they're going to catch up I better catch up, so I'm going to invest in this particular stock. Or and by the time you know about the stock, it's already run up in price.
Scott, I saw an ad yesterday. I saw an ad yesterday from a financial advisory firm. Some, when you click through, and their premise was this person retired with $750,000, and they were able to increase their income because of their investments an extra, not the amount, an extra $7,000 a month.
Oh, come on.
That's what it said. And so you're like, okay, let's assume they're taking a 4% distribution and another 7,000. You're thinking this is just crazy. This is nuts.
They're not a real investment advisory firm because there's laws around that. So they're probably not even securities licensed or registered investment advisor.
Exactly. And then my point being is, don't get sucked into the quick and easy where people really do blow it. And I've seen them blow. I just think so often about the run up to 2008 when real estate was on fire and you couldn't go wrong, and they'd lend money to a donkey. They didn't care. And I had so many clients take all their investments and say that I did not understand that real estate in Florida was the place to be, Pat, because and I just
it's all those things. And you're going to build. I mean, you've got 30 years, 25 years. I mean, in a perfect world, you've got a job where you're not dying to retire, right? You're like, you continue to enjoy what you're doing. But there'll come a time in life when you're going to need to start slowing down. If you can save as much as you can for your retirement, and then, wealth is really built upon a couple things. One is how much you save, but secondly, it's based upon your career and what you earn. So the reality is, like, you might have the best job in the world. You might love what you're doing. Maybe this is exactly where God's called you. This is exactly where you're supposed to be, but you're not going to get rich there, right? And so everything in life, there's trade-offs in everything in life. And so by choosing the career you've got a decent income, but living in the Bay Area doesn't go very far, right? Like, it costs you $8 to drive across the bridge. So it doesn't, it just doesn't go that far.
But if you move to somewhere out of the Bay Area, a small town in Colorado, right, and had an executive level position in a similar nonprofit, it would move you incredibly through. So the other thing is invest in yourself. In fact, when young people come to Scott and myself, which happens because we have kids that are anywhere between the ages.
Yeah, that's right.
And their friends will oftentimes, and they're like, what's the best investment? And what's your answer, Scott?
Yourself.
Yeah.
Not XYZ stock.
No, it's yourself.
It's yourself.
I don't want to lose my soul in the process, believing that money is the priority in life, and it's not. I just want to be able to have this sense of security, live way beneath my means, and just have that everyday security. Like, I know I'm going to have food. I know I'm going to be able to help other people. I know I'm going to be able to donate. So I guess that was like another question. And so in these last 2 years, I've been able to save $100,000.
Holy smokes! Wait, stop.
So,
That's my drop. We're done. You're fine.
How in the world
So
you
at the
save
same time,
$100,000?
well, I'm living at home.
Okay, well, it is
I
what
know,
it
but
is.
still.
That's a lot. That's
Phenomenal.
It's $70,000
Holy
a year income. That's amazing. Okay, so
So
keep
I
going.
Tim, you're doing
But-
really well.
So I guess another question is, I don't want it to sit in the bank and accumulate nothing and give me pennies in a Wells Fargo savings account
Okay, yeah.
when I should have made a different decision and made.
Shoulda, woulda. It doesn't matter. We're here today.
Yeah, but we go the right direction now.
I would put it the maximum you can in your 403b.
100%.
I would maximize your 403b.
Yes. If
And
you're
if you
saving
have
that
to,
much money,
if you have to start spending down your savings to make up for it, then fine.
yes.
I would put
What
them,
about like a high yield savings account?
Well, that's easy. I mean, that's easy.
yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, that's
as
easy.
well.
Yeah. You should do that, but you should maximize your 403b. If you're saving that much money on an annual basis, you maximize your 403b,
Your 403b and your Roth.
IRA, and then after that, just allocate money to a tax efficient account as well, and then,
Like a broad stock market index,
Yeah.
the total stock market. You could put some in a total stock market, but it's got to be there. That's anytime you put money in something like stocks, it's 20-year money. It's Tim's old age money, right? Like,
Right, it's 59 and a half, right?
well, that's the earliest, but I mean the reality is you're 44 and you're probably not going to be retiring at 59 and a half.
Yes, yeah, you're gonna work probably until you're at least 70. But at these savings,
I'm 58 and a half, and I don't like the concept of retiring at 59 and a half. So
your saving rates, you're doing phenomenal.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not going to be forever, and I imagine it's going to end next year. And so I wanted to see what money am I going to need to be liquid in order to
Maybe
purchase, a condo.
Okay, well, that's something completely different, right? So if you said I want to purchase a condo in the next 3 to 4 years, I'm going to say, well, not in the Bay Area, not on $70,000 a year,
yeah.
right? But you've got it together. You're doing great. You should be proud of yourself. You really should.
No kidding. My guess is, not my guess. You are a complete outlier.
Um,
Well, there is that big organization down that works with Previous in San Francisco that has the restaurant, the auto repair shop. Are you involved in that group? What's it called?
I have no idea.
I've eaten at the restaurant.
is it the Delancey
The
Street?
Delancey Street. Yeah. Are you involved with them?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just, other than my dad and, listening to you guys, there's no sense of a real education out there for somebody like myself.
No, wait, you're more.
what do you
You're,
mean an
wait, no,
education?
you're serious. Look. You're in the top 20%.
Yeah.
You know that most Americans, half of Americans, listen to this, half Americans don't have a dime saved.
And they haven't spent any time in prison.
Yeah.
You're in the.
There's the part of America that we look at and say, wow, they've got lots of assets, lots of capital, lots of saving, but there's a whole half of America doesn't have anything saved.
Yeah, you should be proud.
People work their whole lives, get to the end of life, and they're dead broke.
We're not ones for false praise. You're doing
should
doing
feel-
great.
you
You
should
should feel
feel-
good about yourself. Truly. So appreciate the call.
I mean, yeah. No, it's just, just always want to be challenged and,
Well, you're doing
whatever,
great.
Well,
whatever
and
we learn,
I
just
mean,
being
and-
able to pass it down.
And talk to other people like us and listen to podcasts, and you'll learn more than you need. So glad you called there, Tim.